Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So a senator from the state of Georgia, the great peach state, was arrested when he was trying to enter the state house chamber today on Thursday, January 16th in the year of our Lord, 2025. And I'm going to explain a little bit behind like the backstory behind what happened and why he got banned, or if his ban is even legitimate. And we'll get to that later on in the video, but I want to show you the arrest video because it was posted all over the internet today. So let's check that out.
You don't have to be in the way. You're breaking the law too. Colton.
The senator's name is Colton Moore, by the way. Colton Moore. He's a Republican from Trenton, Georgia, representing around 200,000 people. Oh, hey. Man. That is really awkward.
It has gone too far. I have an obligation to be in that room. I represent 200,000 people in Northwest Georgia who duly elected me to be here today. And you're hindering that. Unconstitutional. Go ahead. You have no respect for the Constitution. I need you to step away. Complete disrespect to the Constitution.
I need you to step away from the door now.
Okay.
I don't want to go down this road with you, but I need you to step over here. Yes, sir.
I have a constitutional obligation.
I understand what you're saying, sir. I understand what you're saying. This has gone too far, so we need to stop it.
So you're preventing me from entering.
The doorkeeper says you're not allowed in, sir.
Sir, the doorkeeper has no authority.
Apparently the doorkeeper is a lawyer.
Joint session, I have more authority than this doorkeeper of the house.
You're causing disturbance. You're going to
Sir, I have not caused a disturbance. I need to be let in.
You're not going in. You're free to stand out here and hang out.
God, they were taking a lot of pictures. Jesus. You hear all those cameras?
I'm allowed in. Let me in.
Or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow this house down. And they're arresting him. I don't know. How is that? It is odd. Like, how is it legal for them to like ban a seated senator from entering the House chamber? Is that legal? Can you like legally do that? I genuinely don't know. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. Like, let us know. I'd be curious to hear. I don't know if this is like, if they're legally allowed to do that. So let's talk about the backstory to this whole thing. So back in March of 2024, Senator Colton Moore from Georgia was forbidden from entering the House chambers because he apparently made disparaging comments about the late House Speaker David Ralston. Now, I don't know who David Ralston is. I don't know anything about his politics or anything that he's done or said that would cause that, but
this body is about to perpetually memorialize, in my opinion, one of the most corrupt Georgia leaders we'll ever see in our lifetimes.
Moore blasted Ralston's work as a lawyer and urged senators not to approve the name change.
We got decorum, rules here in this chamber.
Words which were heavily attacked by senators on both sides of the aisle.
He was a great man, a great mentor, and a wonderful friend.
There was a measure of caring about the institution of the General Assembly and the House that Speaker Ralston held dear that made it worth it for everybody to serve, including Democrats, even when you didn't get what you wanted.
House Speaker Jon Burns, visibly angry and emotional, addressed Moore's comments in the House.
His comments impugn the integrity of my dear friend. And we all know they were not true.
The speaker then took swift action.
No time in the future will the senator from the 53rd be allowed to come into that anteroom or any property of the Georgia House.
An announcement met with a standing ovation and a decision he confirmed publicly with the doorkeeper.
Corey, you have your orders. We expect you to enforce them and carry them out.
So the Georgia Senate was considering a resolution to name a building at the University of North Georgia in the late Speaker David Ralston's name, in his memory. And Colton Moore, Representative Colton Moore, the senator from North Georgia, was urging senators to not approve the name change because he said that Ralston's work as a lawyer and politician were some of the most corrupt things ever. And that's why he said this body's about to memorialize, in my opinion, one of the most corrupt Georgia leaders that we are ever going to see in my lifetime. Now, I don't know anything about this guy, Colton. I don't know anything about him. I don't know if he's like super far right. I mean, obviously he's in the right. Don't know anything about him. Not going to give you an opinion on that. But Ralston's successor was the older guy at the end whose name is Speaker Jon Burns of Newington, and said that was some of the vilest remarks that you can make about a good man. And then that Speaker, Jon Burns, ordered the House doorkeepers to bar Moore from entering. Now, there was a letter that was sent out too. After this whole thing went down on January 15th, Colton Moore sent out a letter that said, Speaker Jon Burns, I write to you as a duly elected state senator for the people of Georgia to address your recent attempt to obstruct and prevent my lawful attendance at the upcoming joint session, as ordered by House Resolution 4. I'm in receipt of your letter dated January 14th, 2025. Your letter is unconstitutional, illegal, and the most disgraceful piece of correspondence issued by a legislator in the history of the state of Georgia. Your acts constitute both an impermissible censorship of my voice as an elected state senator and an unlawful obstruction of my sworn duties to the people of Georgia. The purpose of this letter is to inform you and others of my presence at the upcoming joint session of the Georgia General Assembly scheduled for January 16th, 2025, which is today. Additionally, your letter is unenforceable and invalid for the following reasons. Number one, under Article 3, Section 4, Paragraph 1 of the Georgia Constitution, we are in an obligatory legislative session. Any conduct by any speaker, official, or state employee that is in conflict with our state constitution due to the supremacy doctrine is without force and invalid. Then he said, number two, under Article 3, Section 4 of the Georgia Constitution, the authority vested in the presiding officers does not supersede the constitutional right and duty of elected members to participate in legislative sessions. Any attempt to unilaterally bar a sitting senator also infringes these rights. 3. Under Official Code of Georgia, annotated 28 Tac 1, Georgia law outlines the structure, duties, and privileges of the General Assembly. As a duly elected member, I am obligated under these statutes to participate fully in legislative proceedings, debate, and decision-making. I respectfully now demand that you and all others under such instruction immediately cease any efforts to bar or exclude me from the upcoming joint session, future legislative session, or activity on state of Georgia property. Failure to immediately comply with these requests will compel me to pursue all available legal and administrative remedies to ensure that my constituents' constitutional right to representation is upheld. This includes, but is not limited to, direct legal action against you personally and any others found to be inappropriately interfering or otherwise obstructing any senator or representative from discharging their duties as required by the Georgia Constitution or House Resolution 4. I look forward to the joint session on Thursday this week. Sincerely, Colton Moore, State Senator, District 53. So anyway, he was arrested, and after he was let out of jail in Fulton County, same place that Donald Trump was put into jail, here's the video that was recorded and released. Let's see what his response was.
So you can get medically checked out, so you can just give me a moment. Yeah, I'm just gonna come out. Bye.
Thank you.
So what happened?
Well, I mean, I don't really know what the state of the state is.
They want to walk back over here.
I don't know what the state of the state is, but I know we're certainly not the peach state anymore. We're the banana state because we reside in a banana republic. No matter who you are or where you're from in the state of Georgia, your representation was denied today. Because if this authoritarian Speaker of the House, Jon Burns, can stop a member of a General Assembly from entering a joint session, which both chambers unanimously voted to create and to have, then he is by definition a tyrant and authoritarian. Who really controls this state? Is it Jon Burns or is it Brian Kemp? Today, I don't know. I didn't get to attend the State of the State address. You know, it's absolutely unbelievable that this is the state that we live in, considering nothing like this has ever happened in the history of the state of Georgia. So let all Georgians be warned that freedom is being taken away. I don't believe that they're after me. I believe they're after what I stand for. You know, just like President Donald Trump said, you know, they're not after him, they're after you. Because when you start fighting for America first and for Georgia first, this is what the Rhino Republicans try to do for you. You see, it's so ironic that it's the America First patriots that end up here on Rice Street. Donald Trump, myself. You know, Brian Kemp, the AG Chris Carr, Jon Burns, they've done absolutely nothing but try to hinder the voice of good, sound policy in this state. I'll never back down. I'll never give up. They'll have to put a bullet in my head to ever stop me.
Amen.
Dang. Well, obviously pretty serious. He feels very passionately about this. So again, I mean, you know, you can decide on your own what you think of the whole situation. I don't know if it's within the legal right of the Speaker of the House to ban sitting senators or not. It may be. I don't know. I haven't read the Georgia state constitution, so I don't know if he has the authority to do that or not. I do know that it would be, you know, it's possible, but at the same time, like, I know that he said a bunch of things that a lot of folks in that, you know, chamber didn't like when he was talking about the late House Speaker David Ralston. And a lot of people didn't like that. It looked like a lot of people from both sides didn't like that. So, you know, if people from both sides don't like you, you're kind of like politically homeless almost. And he didn't seem to have like a whole lot of support. So I don't know anything about Speaker David Ralston or the late House Speaker David Ralston. I don't know much about Colton Moore. And I also don't know much about Jon Burns. No idea. But it is wild because I've never seen a senator, whether state or federal, getting pushed down outside and blocked from entering the House. But, you know, it happened. It is probably going to lead to some legal stuff, I would imagine. Like, based on his letter, he's probably going to pursue legal action for sure. Now, whether or not that's based or not, I don't know. I don't know the law. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not even going to speculate. But he also went to the hospital, apparently, afterwards. So let's watch that and see what he had to say there.
Hello, everyone. Senator Colton Moore here at the hospital here at Emory Midtown, receiving incredible service. Really proud of the staff here at the hospital. Did take a bit of a beating on the hand. It's a bit swollen and purple. We're waiting to get some x-rays to check it out. Appreciate all of your support, all of the warm comments from all over the country, all over the state of Georgia, and proud to represent the people from Northwest Georgia. I mean, today they took my freedom and liberty away as I was fighting for your liberty and freedom. But I tell you what, we still have a constitutional obligation to do work. I'll still be in that legislature come tomorrow morning. Thank you all for the support.
I don't know where you go from here. Like, what is he supposed to do? I mean, if he can't enter the House chamber, like, what do you do? You know, I don't know. It is definitely beyond my expertise. But if any of you know out there, please let us know in the comments what you think and what he has for alternatives, or if there's any sort of course he could take, because I certainly don't have an answer. But still, wild to see this. I don't think I've seen a state or federal senator get arrested right outside of a chamber like that before. So I don't know. If any of you are lawyers or know anything about legal stuff or know anything about this situation, please let us know in the comments. And hopefully we can all learn a little bit about that and be more well informed as to what kind of recourse this guy has.